Hello traders, today is Monday, October 21st, 2024. I'm gonna go over 11 different names today. As per usual, just keep in mind this content is for educational purposes, it's not financial advice. I strongly suggest you do your own due diligence and research before you decide to spend or risk your money in any type of investments, not only stocks, but any type of investments. It's completely up to you. Make your own decisions, do what you gotta do. That being said, I'm gonna start with Apple. And Apple has been moving very nicely. When was the last time I mentioned Apple? It was back on the 18th, but which was last Friday. Okay. Well, one of the things that I've been looking at is the fact that we want to break this level right here, which is the all-time high resistance level right now. It's looking pretty decent on the, let's go to the 5-minute chart. You can actually see that you had a little bit of a sell-off in the beginning, and then you had a steady move, towards, I guess, from red to green. Now we're under 1%, but on Apple terms, I'm very familiar with this stock. That is not a bad thing. I do think that if volume comes, we're definitely going to see new all-time highs. MACD, TSI are not looking bad at all. RSI is not oversold, and it's actually looking pretty good. I do believe that breaking this level right here, which is 237, is going to take us to new highs. Obviously, at that point, there is not a lot of liquidity. You also don't have a lot of liquidity right here between where we are right now and 237, 238, 237. Anyways, keep an eye on Apple. It's looking good. Earnings are coming on Wednesday or Thursday, October 31st. So that's gonna be interesting. But at least on what we're seeing on the chart is not looking bad. You see on this move right here, more green than red, which is also a premonition that we might continue on this move if we break this resistance level at 237. Let's move on to a name that I think I mentioned either yesterday or Friday, and that is Affirm. And it had a drop of 2% today. I mentioned Affirm on the 18th as well. Okay, so one of the things that I was saying was that we're in range between 4250 and 47.9, 48. It's playing out exactly the way I was thinking. I do believe that if we actually bounce on from 4250 and the 35 SMA, we're definitely going to have an opportunity to continue going up towards claiming back 47 or 48. You have to go over this level first, of course, 45. And then, since you have very low liquidity here, you can still move in very, rapidly, I would say. I was going to say nicely, but rapidly. The lack of liquidity is also giving you this type of move to the downside, but you have a very nice reaction on Friday from the 4250 level and the 35 SMA, and today you went down 2%. I actually, to be honest, don't dislike this type of behavior on this stock, and the reason is because it's still kind of pushing or trending upwards, which is giving these indicators a lot of room. I think if we get volume bouncing out of this level 4250, we are definitely going to break 45 and then continue. However, I think if we break 42.5, 39 or 40 would come pretty fast, and the reason for that is because you will be breaking this support level, and then you will also be breaking the 35 SMA, and that means that you're getting into a low liquidity area, and that could get a little bit traumatic. Keep an eye on the 4250. I think that's the most critical level right now. It's been a critical level for a while already. I've been talking about 4250 for a while, if you follow my videos. So it is important to maintain that level. If it breaks 40, and then it could get nasty if there is not a strong support in this area, especially 4250. So it is critical. If we bounce on 4250, then we're going towards 47 or maybe beyond that. A tricky chart, but so far, at least as of today, is looking pretty decent. Now let's move on to another stock that I might actually get. I have a lot of questions about this, and that is APP. And I was doing a little bit of research, and you know, let me get. I'm opening a page. Okay, so when I look at the chart right here, this looks insane, right? I mean, I've been talking about how overextended this name's been since basically this area right here. You were absolutely overbought on the RSI. TSI super extended. Same with MACD. Volume was decreasing. I was thinking, okay, this has to take a breather. Thank God I didn't buy any puts because this thing just kept moving. Today it closed at almost 10%. At one point today it was 10%. Pretty incredible move. Let's go to the weekly and see if this, yeah, that's, wow, we've been doing all-time highs for a while. I don't even have a level for this because there's nothing to compare it with. But I guess my point to this is it forced me to do some research just to understand this type of move. And, you know, after I read what I read, I still can't justify this type of behavior, which is fine. I do believe that at one point this is going to cool down, or, you know, best case scenario for the stock and the investors on this name, it might consolidate and then everything is going to chill as far as indicators and volume and whatnot, and then you have another leg up. That would be good as well. I don't have a dog in this race, but just so you have a little bit of a I guess of what is going on with this stock. They basically work on advertising for it's mobile advertising, and also they do, if I am correct, some gaming advertising and that sort of stuff. The name of the company, as you can see right here, is Applovin. A lot of people are jumping on this. There's definitely a lot of opportunity. But some of the things as far as the financial performance of Applovin is that, you know, as of June or July of this year, it did show a year-over-year increase in revenue by almost 44%. That is pretty incredible for a company this size. And if that 44% basically represents $1.1 billion, give or take, with a net revenue, actually income surge of 286%, and translated into money terms or dollar terms, that would be $310 million. And that, in my opinion, this performance is reflecting not only growth in revenue, but also in profit margins. And then you are seeing what is going on here. Where's my mouse? Oh man, maybe this thing died, and I would have. Oh great! Give me 1 second. I think I have a charger for it. How convenient that this thing actually died in the middle of a video. Okay, so, and that is why you see this this move, basically mostly for the financials that we are seeing of this company. They also have some moves and market positions that were pretty good. This company was found in 2012, so it's not a new company, but it seems like leadership is doing things very well. I do have some information. They did strategic acquisitions, and they bought, I believe, Mopap from Twitter, and that acquisition was $1.1 billion, which is that was crazy, and that actually end up enhancing their position on mobile monetization. And I think that's all I have as far as information. But so far, looks like obviously they're doing pretty well. Leadership is doing what they are supposed to do. You do have, let's see what news. I didn't read any news. Applovin Corporation reaching during Monday's trading session. Yeah, those are the news. We'll see what happens on earnings. Is on November 6th, Wednesday, November the 6th. And let's see what kind of guidance or what else. But this, I just wanted to mention this name because it's just moving so crazy. Again, if we go to the weekly, look at this. It's like a parabolic move, and the TSI is not even that extended if you actually look on the weekly. Anyways, APP. Nothing that I think this train obviously, or this train already left, and I'm not even at the station at this point. I think this is definitely have a little more room to continue going up. It has decent volume. It's been having volume for almost half a quarter already, and it's moving very nicely. Since what is this, August 5th, this thing bounced on the 200 SMA and just kept going and going and going. I wish I was taking something here, but I didn't. Anyways, if you actually take advantage of any of these moves, congratulations. I just wanted to share this because I've been looking at this stock for so many days, I guess, or so many times, that I was like, what the hell is going on with this name? Why is it moving like that? And it makes sense. I mean, financially speaking, and partnerships and everything they're doing the right thing. But again, when I see this type of chart, it's like, well, sooner or later this is gonna have to come down one way or another. Anyways, that's what I have for APP. Okay, let's do now Bitcoin. And what did I tell you yesterday? I've been telling you this since we were here. One of the things that I said was back in late September was that we had to break over the 200 SMA with momentum. If momentum didn't come, you're gonna probably get rejected at this support level, which is 67.3. We didn't even reach 67.3. You still actually got pulled back into 59.7. You had a reaction on the 200 SMA, got rejected, went to 59.7 again, 59.7 again, and then you went through over the 35 SMA. You crossed over the 200 SMA. You had a double top formation. You went over the neckline. You had enough time to actually make some money, especially if you are on crypto-related names. They are very reactive, as you know, to this type of moves from Bitcoin. But what is happening now is we are down so far 1.8%. It was down 2%. You had, you actually didn't go or didn't break, I'm sorry, support at 67.3, which is a good thing. You're coming back a little bit, but one thing that is concerning is the lack of momentum. And that's what I was saying yesterday and the day before, or whenever I was talking about Bitcoin. You need more momentum. Now, it would be fantastic if you get another red candle that also is testing support, and then you move towards 71. If that is the case, then that momentum is going to come. But for now, I wouldn't be that optimistic just by looking at the last candle. That's it. It's also a matter of waiting, if you want to be or have a bullish expectation. But I wish there was a little bit more of a, I wish this candle would look smaller and wouldn't be that as an engulfing candle. But anyways, the good thing is that you didn't break under the support level. The wick did, but buyers came back in. We'll see what happens in the next few hours. We'll see what happens during the week. And but for now, just be vigilant with Bitcoin. I think, again, if buyers come in, we're probably going to go down towards that 35 SMA, which is this line right here, and then we can assess. But if not, if buyers come in at this support level at 67, then we're probably going to hit 71. That would be fantastic because, I have my Bitcoins here and there. Okay, let's move on to, I mentioned this name a couple of times already, and I think today was doing pretty decently, and that is e.l.f. I'm sorry, I'm taking a note. It did have a nice push, and then sellers came back in. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. You had a push in the beginning of the day, and then sellers took control. Now, on the 5-minute chart, the MACD and the TSI look pretty flat. That's a good indication, if you ask me. But also keep in mind, this is a 5-minute chart. So On the 1-day chart, this doesn't look too good. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you didn't mount that 35 SMA. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, at the end of the day, it wasn't a bad day, almost 4%. But just like Celsius, I wouldn't risk anything or any money or even think about jumping into this if you don't go over 120. Celsius is kind of like a same situation. I think it's 35 my price where I want to break. Yeah, 35.7. If you don't break 35.7, I really don't care about it. But this is this is a very similar situation as what you had on Celsius, even the double top. So you had this sell-off and then you're in range. This actually look better than Celsius. And if you break to the upside, I think you're going to move very rapidly towards that 325 SMA, which is this guy right here. You have very low liquidity. So just wait and see how this behave. MACD and TSI are looking very well. They are not synchronized, which is fine. The RSI is also looking good, but we'll see what kind of behavior you have on the RSI as well. If there is a rejection towards the zero line or not. But most importantly, price action, there's definitely an indication that at least today, sellers came back in and took control, even though you had a plus 4% day. Anyways, keep an eye on the 120 resistance level. If it breaks support, I wouldn't touch it. I mean, even I wouldn't. For what? I mean, the move is already gone. The big move is gone already. But anyways, again, 120 is your resistance level. That's what your eyes have to be. Let's take a look at, I mean, this name so far has been unstoppable, and that is HIMS. And just look at this chart. Now, when I was looking at this in the morning, I was like, well, is this getting a little bit extended? Yeah, a little bit. But it also has a lot of people that are super enthusiastic about this name. You know, earnings are coming on November 4th, which is a Monday. We'll see what they come up. I wouldn't be surprised and they beat estimations and they have good guidance, and that would be incredible. Now, if you ask me what would be the best thing that could happen other than having good earnings, is to actually go down a little bit towards earnings. So there's opportunity to actually buy back into this stock. Anyways, as far as what we saw today, you are up 4%. Let's go to the 5-minute chart and see straight up, you know, beautiful. So you had a nice start of the day at, let me find it right here. This candle, you sold off for the first 10 minutes of trading. You bounce on the 325 SMA and then you just kept going. Had a bounce on the 35 SMA on the 5-minute, and then you just moved and moved to the upside. So we are again playing very closely with this level that I put as a price target after 2 consecutive price targets that were met. Our first price target was 18.7. That happened. And then we had a second price target at 21.7. And now the third price target is 23.44. One thing that I was wrong about, I would say, is that this is taking much, less time than what I was anticipating. What I was thinking is like a little bit of chop and then a continuation. But this name is having a lot of strength, no doubt about it. And you can see it on the TSI. And the TSI is the true strength indicator, and is proving how it's moving. And the fact that these two are behaving very similarly is also a good indication. Volume is not even that high compared to other days, and you still got to move this like this. So HIMS is still super strong. I did buy calls a couple of weeks back, and these are January calls. This is just moving very nicely. Price target right now is 344, which we're probably gonna meet. We'll see if we get rejected at that area, and maybe there is an opportunity if we consolidate here. That would be basically the best case scenario if you consolidate right before earnings, because then again, I do think that they're gonna beat, and then your next price target will be probably 25. pretty crazy. That's insane. And 25 is all-time highs. Why did yeah? So I did put 25 because there is basically this level right here that goes back to what is this? 2021, February 2021. Impressive, very impressive. It's still surprising on how steady and quickly we got to this to break this three price targets. I think it took since I've been talking about this since mid-September or so, and we were back then at 13, give or take. Now we are at 23. Some of you actually kept buying during these moves right here, and I'm pretty sure you at this point are pretty happy. I'm very happy for you. I'm this is very solid. I've been talking about HIMS for a minute already, and it's paying off. Another name that I'm not gonna mention today, but I'm gonna keep a close eye is Hood. I think Hood could go give us some surprises. So I might mention Hood tomorrow. Okay, let's move on to JPM, and the reason why I am mentioning JPM is because it's reflecting what is happening, or I guess I shouldn't say what is happening. It's reflecting the cycle, I guess, of money allocation. We saw a decline, and I mentioned this yesterday on Citi, which was the first telling us, that things were, gonna change direction. And then we also had a good indication from Bank of America. Bank of America had very decent earnings, by the way, but now we're going down towards 41. Let's focus on JPMorgan. And, you got to this level right here, which was all-time highs, if I am correct. That's 225. Now we're going down towards 217. I wouldn't be surprised when we get to that point. We are having a double top formation if this continues. Keep an eye on that. We might actually go towards 217. And one of the things that I've been following was the behavior of XLF. I did post a short of XLF right before it started running, and the next day it started running. And then I do believe that I was talking about XLF back on the 9th, I believe. That's what I have. That's what I have on my notes. But going back to JPMorgan, I think that this sector is gonna cool down a little bit, and there might be opportunity once bulls come back in. For now, I would just let it cool down unless you feel sure enough for puts. At this point, I would wait a little bit for the MACD and the TSI to give me a better indication, but it looks like this is definitely gonna go towards 217. It got rejected here 3 times or 4 times in a row, and now you are, I think, on your way to 217. There's low liquidity here as well. There's low liquidity all the way down to 212 or 213. So, and you have these rejections here in this area as well. Keep an eye on these names. I think it would be easier, which I'm going to mention, to trade XLF. Anyways, let's move on to, I want to mention a crypto-related stock, and that would be Riot. So wait, I can understand my own handwriting. The reason why I'm mentioning Riot is because it was a nicer between Riot and Mara, the most consistent move to the upside. We're still, I guess, in good position for Riot. However, if Bitcoin has a couple of, I guess, red days in the next or this week or so, or if it continues going down towards, what did we say, 59 or I don't know, I forgot. Now I want to know, sorry. Yeah, if Bitcoin continues going towards 50, well, if it breaks the support level, which is 67.3, and continue to go towards the 35 SMA that we are seeing here, I think that Riot, for example, is an crypto related stocks are definitely going to take a hit. So keep an eye on that. You are close to the 200 SMA. I think that it's a good thing that you have a little bit of red, so things cool down. I wouldn't trade to the upside when I'm seeing this kind of stuff. I would feel like, okay, I missed the opportunity. The opportunity was back in this area right here, right under the 35 SMA. There is where the opportunity was, especially on this retest, if we can consider this a retest, and then going back up. But I like the fact that Riot is behaving in a less volatile way than Mara. As you can see, if I zoom out, well, forget about this, right? But at least in the last quarter, it's been behaving in a more consistent way. I like that kind of stuff. That's why I mentioned it yesterday, and that's why I'm mentioning Riot today. I do believe, again, that maybe going down towards 8.7 and then retesting that level, that would be fantastic. And that would mean that Bitcoin would go towards the support level of 67.3. And if it doesn't break and then move back up, then all of these names are gonna, lower this extension a little bit and then give you more opportunity to the upside. I like Riot. As I said before, I wasn't paying much attention to this name, but I like the fact that there is some sort of consistency. That's the type of stocks that I like to trade. Something that tells me that scares me less, I guess. But Riot is not looking bad, but again, just keep an eye on what is going on with Bitcoin and the crypto sector, and then decisions could be a little bit more simple. I wouldn't say easier, but a little more simple when you see an entire sector moving one way or another, and then you can make a decision on that. Let's move on to, I never mentioned this name, but I want you to take a look at the setup, and that is SHAK. And what do I have here? I think it's 3. Okay. You have this formation right here that comes on this resistance level at 110 or 111. You also have this consolidation here on this pattern. You're bouncing on the 35 SMA. MACD and TSI are neutral. The TSI is actually a little bit bullish, and the RSI is just maintaining the same level at 60. That is a good thing. I think if we break 111, we might see a rally on this name. It's looking good so far. Definitely no all-time highs. As you can tell, I'm not too familiar with this. It's the first time I mentioned this. I just found this setup and I liked it. And again, if we break this 111 level, you're definitely gonna get into this low liquidity area, and you might have a nice position here. It's just a matter of waiting. Let me see how this looks on the weekly. Well, it doesn't look bad at all. And let's see how the volume profile. Yeah, there is really no liquidity on this area right here. So let's see if it breaks, and that will give us a good indication. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. You had a sell-off the beginning of the day. Yeah. And then buyers came back in. Look how this level is working. This is very nice. Okay. Anyways, keep an eye on SHAK. I do believe that there might be opportunity here as long as we break this level with momentum. And then you're going to see a little bit of divergence on the MACD and the TSI, and that would be a good indication of what is coming next. Now you have earnings, keep that in mind, on October 29, which is in 8 days from today. So be very careful with that side of this story. Anyways, let's move on to the next name, and that would be this guy right here, if I can find you. SOUN. And another instance on why I mentioned this name is because of the setup that I was looking at. It looks better on the weekly, actually. Look at this. So you have this pattern right here. You have this very nice consolidation into this triangle, and now you're pushing up. You're over the 35 SMA. You're for 2 consecutive weeks. Today was down 2%, which is fine. And MACD and TSI are not looking bad. Let's take a look at the daily. And this doesn't really look bad. Well, this candle doesn't look very enticing, to be honest. But I think if we break this level in this area right here, you're going to get into a very low liquidity area, and you might see a nice move to the upside. Now, keep in mind that this company, and I did post this quite a a lot of information on X. I do have a post on this on X. Nvidia is an investor of this company. This is a 2 billion conversational AI company. That's what they do, and collaborates with major partners like Chipotle, Square, Hyundai, Samsung, Papa John's. Nvidia is an investor again, and so that's gonna give you credibility to the name for sure. The weekly chart looks, and I'm reading basically what I post on X. Looks very bullish. There's momentum, which would be basically the catalyst that we have today. Just keep an eye on this name, especially if you are looking at the weekly chart. I didn't put any levels here because this is a name, again, that I haven't, I can put levels right now, that I haven't paid much attention to. And, you can see in some of the charts that I talk about, you can see that some of the levels that I have are very low. And that means that, and then you have a lot of levels on the way up. That means that I've been checking those prices or those stocks since they were in a very low level all the way up to whatever. I can show you maybe on, I don't have any that I recall right now. Let's say Rivian. So I put levels. That means that I've been, looking at this stock from, a lot of areas in the past. Anyways, let's go back to Sound. This is looking good in my opinion. I just put this level here at 5.5, and we'll see how we behave. I'll give it a few more days to see what happens. Even though you're breaking on this pattern already, you are on over the 200 SMA, over the 35 SMA. It's not looking bad at all. Anyways, keep an eye on Sound. I do have a very detailed explanation of what I'm seeing on Sound on X, and the link is on the description of the video. And now let's close this video with, I mentioned I was going to say XLF. And, sorry, I'm taking a note. There might be an opportunity here to the downside. I personally wouldn't take it because I'm adding more rules to my trading. And one of them is to basically trade to the upside, or for the most part with the trend. Anyways, last time I mentioned this name was on Wednesday, October the 9th, on that video. Please go back to that video, you're gonna see that. What I was saying is we're consolidating here. One of the things that you see in these kind of patterns is that sometimes a fake out can come in, and you go, this is kind of like a 50-50 pattern. But what I liked about it is that there was not a lot of red on this, basically from here to here, and you had volume coming in. MACD and TSI were curling up, so that was telling me that we are going to probably break resistance at 45.7, which we did 2 days later, on Friday the 11th. So on the 9th, I was telling you, this looks good. By the way, I did buy calls at this point. I was red the next day, and then things started moving. I got out, I believe, where did I get out? Then actually, I think I got out on this candle. So I did buy somewhere here in the back, and then I got out in this candle because I was traveling here. I was just trying to, and I didn't trade last week. So I definitely didn't take advantage, and maybe I did, and if I did take advantage of this candle, was probably in the beginning of the day, so that's not too good. But anyways, what I was saying is, and we're gonna move and continue going probably, but now we're seeing a little bit of weakness on this sector, and I wouldn't be surprised, and we're going to go back to 45.7, and at that point there might be an opportunity, just like what I mentioned on JPM, that you're coming down to the next level and there might be a rebound. That would be optimal in my opinion. Let's actually move this and see what happens there. But yeah, I think this sector is gonna sell a little bit deeper into the support levels, and then we might see a comeback or whatnot. For now, I'm just gonna wait. I think the options that we had in the beginning of the month for the financial sector were pretty optimal. Again, I did take a swing, but I think I sold within 2 days or so. Don't know what my thought process was, but I was probably getting ready to travel or something, and I just didn't want to have position something. Anyways, but this ended up moving very nicely, and now I think weakness is coming into the sector. There's rotation of definitely allocation of funds and they're going somewhere else. The uranium stocks are doing pretty well. Metals are doing well. So there's definitely a little bit of a rotation going on. So yeah. Oh, look at this. I was mentioning Wolf on X. Look at this nice move. Yeah, I did put a post of Wolf on 20 hours ago. So that was last night. And here we are. Wow, what a nice move. Okay, anyways, I was talking about XLF, but I said enough about it. I guess the extra was Wolf. Look at this beautiful move. Solid. Look, no liquidity here. Anyways, okay, guys, I gotta go. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Earnings are gonna be wild. We are well into them. And Tesla is on Wednesday, I believe, after hours. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.